Hey guys, how's it going? It's July 8th, 2020, and I'm going to do a little bit of something special. I don't know why I'm in category gaming, but just a little something out of the ordinary from what I normally do in my channel. And this is more for my subscribers and to spread the word out that I think is very important. Because if you look on TV, if you hear what everybody else is saying, not everybody, but the majority of people are saying, a lot of people are scared, and to be honest, they don't really have a reason to be. And I mean, they have a reason to be scared for some reasons, but not the reasons that the media is reporting. This here is a video. As you can see, it's October 23rd, 2014. It is on this gentleman by the name of Paul Durenzio's channel. So it's 27 minutes long. I don't know if I'm going to play all of it. I'll probably get to some of the important parts. Now, when you look for the document that they're going to refer to, and you look for the word lockstep Rockefeller in Google, amazingly it puts you to this document. Well, guess what? This document has nothing to do with the word lockstep. I've tried it a few times. I see locked, but I do not see lockstep in there. Find that interesting. This is also not the only document that is supposedly in the Rockefeller Foundation, which somehow is not available. So, question, of course, is authenticity. So that's fine. Now, I went on Twitter to find this gentleman here, who basically dug it up. And I'll take you over to page number 1. This is what it looks like. Scenarios for the Future of Technology and International Development, Rockefeller Foundation, Global Research Network. Keep an eye on that title for a moment, because once you're there, you're going to want to go on to page number 18. Now, first of all, the date of this, and it says so in the video. This was produced 5 years ago, the video, and it talks about, this document was May 2010. The video that I am going to show you describes scenarios that are in here. Remember, this was 2010. This is a scenario. So you can say, well, it's coincidence. Well, some things can be coincidental. I encourage you to take a look at this. Find this article. They're out there. There's plenty of copies out there. And then find this channel and check it yourself. That's all I'm saying as far as what you need to do. I'm not going to try to twist your arm. I'm not going to try to say, this is real, you have to believe me. You believe whatever the hell you want to believe. I don't care. If you listen, if you want to say, I'm a conspiracy theorist, I don't care. All I'm saying is, here we are. So, let me go to the video here.
And welcome to Let 'em Talk. I'm Paul Durian.
Let 'em talk.
I got another great show for you in store. Returning as our guest is Vox. Welcome, Vox, to the show.
This imbibing on fear that we do here in the United States since 9/11 and everything. It's not.
So he's talking about 9/11, and basically he is from Vox News, not Vox News. If you go to there's two different Vox News. You got to go to voxnews.com. There's another Vox out there that is, trust me, is nothing like this. What this guy has to offer. There you can see the date right there on the program that pops up. This is right from the guy. This is the same guy that you see in the video, Paul D'Arenzio. That is his program. This is his channel. There's not too many views on this. There's only 26,000 views. I'm quite surprised. But again, a lot of people are starting to see this. This was actually put in on October 23rd, 2014. This scenario they talk about, and I'll go in a little bit further. In 2012, and he will say this in this video, he describes this. I'm not going to take you any more through the actual pages of this document, but I can assure you, what you will see in this video is exactly what is in this article. It is the same thing. It is what he shows on the cover. I'll show you the cover one more time. He'll show it to you too. So let's just take a little bit of a play here.
And that's why everybody's dumping the dollar. If we dealt fairly with it.
He talks about the finances and all that.
Northrop Grumman, Carlyle,
The defense.
the defense
There's a lot of stuff here.
Servants, the intelligence networks, and to a large degree.
Let's see when he starts grabbing this paper. Because he's talking about
Well,
Ebola.
there is a reason. The minerals. They have the
He's talking about the minerals and all that other stuff.
Yeah. All those people are sitting
Okay.
on top of these.
Here comes the good part.
Of Ebola, or spreading it from a small player of villages. The point is to get hundreds of thousands of people infected with it, and
Now he's talking about Ebola.
the next phase of control. Now, one of the things I'd like to show to back up my my claims here.
Listen carefully.
Here's a document from the
And watch.
Rockefeller Foundation. Rockefeller Foundation, right there.
That's the best I can do for resolution, guys.
It's called Scenarios for the Future of Development.
It's the same
and
document.
International Development, the Rockefeller Foundation. All right. Okay. Let's take a look at what they're saying here.
2014.
A 50, 60-page document. I'd like you to go
Page
to
18.
Page 18, if you can look at this up on the internet, but I'll read it off to you. It's called lockstep. Lockstep. And this is a phrase that I used right after 2001 when I saw
Yep.
the entire system of the United States, including the population, were in lockstep. So the Congress went along, and yes, it was Osama bin Laden, and the people waved their flag and said, I hate, 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 and everything was in lockstep. Well,
Yep.
in 2010,
I remember.
they published this, Rockefeller Foundation, and here's what they're saying. They're saying that they call it a scenario. These are scenario narratives, and they speak about it in the past tense. So they put out this scenario, lockstep. A world of tighter, top-down government control and more authoritarian leadership, with limited innovation and growing citizen pushback. Okay, I'll read a little bit of it. In 2012, the pandemic that the world had been anticipating for years, nobody was anticipating a pandemic, finally hit. Unlike 2009's H1N1, this new influenza strain originating from wild geese. They use some scenario, but this is
So it was bats this time.
Even the
Different.
most pandemic-prepared nations were quickly overwhelmed when the virus streaked around the world, infecting nearly 20% of the global population and killing 8 million in just 7 months. The majority of them healthy young adults. The pandemic also
That's
had
different.
a deadly effect on economies. You can see the agenda, just naked, raw, naked control agenda written down, and it's anybody's guess how this becomes effectuated in real life. So whether this is written specifically as marching orders, or whether people take it upon themselves in the intelligence networks to say, okay, well, this has been produced, so this is the plan here. But these narratives have to be written in advance, because the intelligence agencies don't know how to do these narratives. They need help. So these think tanks, they come up with these, like Rand Corporation, Rockefeller Foundation. These are think tanks of death. They're not the think tanks. They're not there to find great ways to help people. Okay, the pandemic also had a deadly effect on economics. International mobility of both people and goods screeched to a halt. which is what they want. They want a completely isolated world, right? Debilitating industries like tourism and breaking global supply chains. Well, of course they want tourism. They want you stopped because
I
they're
live in
not
Niagara
in the
Falls,
tourism business.
Ontario.
And they want you at home in your house in front of the TV. Then they got you, because once you watch the TV,
Sorry, I worked
they
there.
own your soul. Even locally,
Wait a second, we're on television, aren't we? That's
right.
Jack, we're on television?
well, you know, but
It's a special show.
this is different. Yeah, this is not. I mean commercial television. Let's say. National. Even locally, normally bustling shops and offices sat empty for months. Okay? So I love how they talk about it in past tense in 2010.
Yeah.
The pandemic blanketed the planet, though disproportionate numbers in Africa died. Southeast Asia and Central America, where the virus spread like wildfire.
It sounds like the opening monologue of a disaster movie, right?
Exactly.
Over the opening credits as they show the disaster.
Sure. And they
usually
made it
have
real.
they have something like this, a narration like this over the credits that set you up.
Now listen, here's the good stuff now. But even in developed countries, containment was a challenge. Now here's this one. I love this one. The United States' initial policy of strongly discouraging, in quotation marks, strongly discouraging citizens from flying proved deadly in its leniency. So they're saying, that
No, keep going, read it.
proved deadly in its leniency. So they should have been tougher, right? Accelerating the spread of the virus, not just within the United States, but across borders. However, a few countries did fare better. China. The Chinese government's quick imposition and enforcement of mandatory quarantine for all citizens, as well as its instant and near hermetic sealing off of all borders, saved millions of lives, stopping the spread of virus far earlier than in other countries. So the message is here: we have to look towards the Chinese, the totalitarian. Yeah,
And that's what we're becoming.
as an example of what we need to be doing here. And of course, the ruling class here loves the Chinese regime because they have demonstrated to the ruling class the most efficient form of capitalism, which is authoritarian capitalism. So we have capitalism, but unfortunately we have this veil. We have this veil of democracy.
This is very interesting. This is continue on.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. China's government was not the only one that took extreme measures to protect its citizens from risk and exposure. During the pandemic, national leaders around the world flexed their muscles, flexed their authority, and imposed airtight rules and restrictions. You can see the agenda. Okay. From the mandatory wearing of face masks
Hear that?
to body temperature checks at the entries to communal spaces.
Wow.
That's what's happening right now.
Strange, yeah. But
No, that's what's happening right now.
It'll be at the subway?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? We'll be going through this in the subway, get on the buses and the subway,
absolutely,
things like that?
absolutely. And what this means, though, is don't think about having a cigarette, a joint on, basically you can't. This is a dragnet for everything. So if in order for you
Or in other words, just like with stop and frisk, this is ultimate stop and frisk.
this is the
This is
ultimate
so-
cavity stop and fix, cavity search kind of thing. All right, so during the pandemic, national leaders around the world flex their authority. Now there's some good stuff. Listen to this. And even supermarkets, they want body checks at supermarkets. Okay, so basically what they're saying is they're building a system where every move you make, you
get
got to
food.
go through them.
You can't get food. What happens if you go to the farmer's market?
Here's the good stuff now. I mean, it just keeps getting better. Even after the pandemic faded, this more authoritarian control and oversight of citizens and their activities stuck and even intensified. That's the whole point. So they're going to
So
get
did that happen already with 9/11?
Of course.
9/11 was how many, 14 years
Sure,
ago,
sure.
and we still have all these draconian
So they're
rules.
going to put the body cavity
USA,
searches in.
Patriot, and all
That's right. So in order to get to a supermarket, you got to have a body cavity search. And then when there's no more Ebola, well, you know what? We kind of like this way because we have a complete infrastructure of a complete control grid, like my friend down in Austin, Texas, Alex Jones says, control grid. And yes.
Alex Jones is a controversial figure.
Well, you may not like a lot of what he says, and I think that a lot of his stuff is a little bit, I think the way he delivers it, it can very much turn people off. However, he is hitting the salient points. let's say. Now, even after the pandemic, in order to protect themselves from the spread of increasingly global problems, from pandemics and national terrorism to environmental crisis and rising poverty, leaders around the world took a firmer grip on power. Well, what the hell would rising poverty have anything to do with imposing strict citizen controls with face masks? So they're very sloppy stuff here. At first, the notion of a more controlled world gained wide acceptance and approval. I'm sorry. Nobody likes this stuff. They just say
They do now.
I have to provide analysis.
We only have 5 minutes left, so that's
Oh my God, okay. Citizens willingly gave up some of their sovereignty and their privacy to more paternalistic states in exchange for greater safety and stability. I mean, that's just a complete naked contradiction to the famous saying that if you think you're going to give up a little bit of your security, I mean, if you're going to give up your freedom for security, you're going to get neither. That's the long-standing thing. And here what they're doing is they're not even ashamed or embarrassed to absolutely say the exact opposite. They're saying, yes, we all want to give up our privacy and sovereignty for more stability and security and stability. So you don't get that. When you give it up like that, you get the shaft. That's it. Okay.
We're speaking, by the way, we're speaking with Fox, and Fox from Fox News. He's been on the show a few times, and he's reading some very frightening things that I think are worth listening to. Can you show us the cover again of what you were just reading?
One more time, and then I have
This
two
is
more
what-
documents.
Right, this is what we were reading here, and just zoom in a little bit so folks can see it. He'll zoom in, don't worry, you can relax. And scenarios for the future of technology and international development.
Okay. Now I have two more documents. Keep it zoomed. We have the National Security Memorandum of December 10th, 1974. This is Henry Kissinger's brainchild. The National Security Memorandum number 200. You can look that up on your internet. I'll summarize it. He says that there's too many people, we got to get rid of the population. So to answer your question.
Oh, from earlier.
Yeah, he says, he used the word depopulation, which is different. Depopulation means killing people that already exist, and it's to get the minerals, because we need the minerals. And here's another one. The CDC has a patent on Ebola. They patented it. Yeah? So basically, if you want to get a cure for your Ebola, you
It
got to
says it
go
right up here, right? It says human Ebola virus species and compositions and methods thereof, and it's a patent.
It's a patent. They patented the main strain plus something like 17 other strains of it. So they own it now, and I don't know how exactly you can own that, but apparently they've done the same thing.
Yeah, I didn't think you could own a natural.
Yeah, you can. They
Just its
patented-
use.
Somebody sequenced the genome for Thai jasmine rice. This was a story that's back in Bush 1.
Okay, it's like Frankenfoods.
Yeah, they say we own Thai jasmine rice now. And the Thai people who had that, who had developed that for 1,000 years said,
Okay,
they want to get it.
interesting.
Yeah.
I guess that for us.
I guess the main thing to finish off this show is this, that they want to get more control, more and it's going to be curfews and quarantine. So what I'm saying is that unless the American people start to get some new way to revolt, a new way to organize, new way to protest, unless we can break through the apathy, because that's what we have here, then it's going to be a slave state here. The ruling class doesn't seem to have too much resistance. They're getting everything on their Christmas. And they've been wanting quarantines and curfews for a long time. Now they got it. And if you want to live in a world where you're tricked into all this stuff because it's for your safety, right? And if you want to have a probe and make sure you got to check your pockets, make sure you don't have anything incriminating on you before you go out, and when you step out of your house, you want some police there to monitor and see what you're doing. If that's the world you want to live in, be apathetic, don't do anything. You're going to get that world very soon. It's coming your way, definitely.
Okay, we got a minute and a half, Fox. How do you want to sum up this message? What's the message you're giving people? What's the hope? Is there a hope there?
I would think that I would like to see something where people have to do 10 protest things a year, participate in something.
So anyways, he talks about protesting and all that stuff, which you've already seen protests. Protests are going to start picking up. Unfortunately, it's going to be a minority. The media is not going to cover it. As you can see here, the doctor fact checks Plandemic conspiracy. I subscribed to him for a while, and then he just got blatantly ridiculous as far as I'm concerned. I believe in science and I believe in the scientific methods, but I also believe in the data. And the numbers just don't add up. There's some sources I had when I first started who really got me on board that this was real, and this was whether or not the virus is real, manufactured in a lab, which it seems to be pointing that way. It's even pointing to the fact that it's not even a virus, it's just a protein that attaches onto things. Again, the video here is Vox on Ebola, Paul Durenzio, and it doesn't have very many views. If you want to see the whole video yourself, I encourage you to check it out. And the ISSUcom, this is the links here. I'll provide the links when I get a chance. And yeah, I encourage you to read this, without the interruptions or whatever, and follow along because it's pretty much word for word. And this was all, I started hearing some of the leaders around the world actually started quoting this from places, like in developing third world countries, started quoting this. And that got my attention. I was like, what? They're talking about this? And that's when I started looking into it a little deeper, and I was shocked. I found this a couple nights ago. I always believed that they were going to always take advantage of a situation. The fact of the matter is, the economy, the world economy, is basically crashing. It is really to the point right now, and I'll put these chats here. I'll put these in the chats here, just so that you guys have them right now. So that's the YouTube video that I just showed. This is the document. This goes hand in hand. Pardon me. And I'm not going to dwell on this too much. I'll wrap it up and by the end of the 30 minutes. I don't want to make it any longer than this. I appreciate the likes. And share this around. I'm not monetized, so I'm not after this for money. I'm not after this for views, subscribers, all that other crap. I don't want you to subscribe to me because I provided this. Thumbs up would be appreciated. The likes are appreciated because it does possibly get exposure for me up there for that particular video. And I want this to become a popular video on my channel. And it's not that I'm trying to take anything away from the original video here, but I want people to see about this. Keep in mind, again, this video was it was October 23rd, 2014. This is YouTube. I'm surprised this video is still up there. YouTube does not fake dates or allow fake dates and all that other crap. In fact, YouTube is very, very particular in deleting videos and deleting dissension. You could see my channel get deleted if I get a message out that's strong enough, and I really don't care as long as the message gets out. And read this again, this document. There's plenty of ways to find it but this is the link right above, as I've and there's other stuff in there too, but it goes on. So maybe there's other phases of lockstep. Like you can look on here. This is and some of it happens and some of it doesn't. It's not, and I saw some more information from this gentleman who seems to be very much on the no, I don't want to find. I want to go plus. So yeah, right. Okay. So So quarantine. This is the headlines in lockstep basically, and it goes all the way to 2030. So again, this that was predicting was going to happen in 2004. Around 2003 was the SARS epidemic. So perhaps they were trying it then, and not everything was ready. Sometimes they'll beta test these things. Sometimes they'll push a little further. But you see the war on terror, war on terror, Ebola, SARS. All these things have very similar things that are going on. Quarantine restricts in-person contact. Cellular networks overloaded. Everybody being at home. When everybody's at home, they got you, because you got two. There's two things. Most people don't do research and want to do work. They want to be lazy and sit in a recliner like myself and actually just go ahead and just basically they just want to get the information fed to them. I used to be like that. I used to turn into CNN, which is the Cartoon News Network, and I used to just half hour after half hour. Wolf Blitzers was on the other night apparently saying about how these people, you can't trust me. Okay, or sorry, that you can't trust the people that are saying that they can't trust government. It's just a bad precedent, and it's sad and all this other stuff. They're doing op-eds. They're not reporting. 5Ws: who, what, where, when, why. I told my friend this the other night. They don't question. If you want to look for a good place, if you want to sit back, get RT. If you say, oh, it's Russian state propaganda, well, guess what? CNN is also propaganda, and it's a lot of the advertisers are Lockheed Martin and all those other people. Intercontinental trade hits by strict pathogen controls in 2015. Italy addresses immigrant caregiver. Notice Italy's in there. I don't know why. Immigrant caregiver gap with robots. They've talked about robots taking over some of this, but this is a few years later, so don't be surprised if you start seeing AI be upped. We're already seeing changes in streets, more green spaces, more streets being closed so that they can extend patios. Will Africa embrace an authoritarian capitalism a la China to continue? Vietnam to require a solar panel on every home. I don't know what the hell that means. Proliferating trade networks in Eastern and South Africa to strengthen regional ties, and then African leaders from repeat of Nigeria 2026 government collapse. So, yes, it's you can go through the whole thing. It's interesting, but what's playing out right now is basically most of what you see in the 2012 section, just before the quarantine restricts in-person contact, cellular networks overloaded. So it could be right around this time, but obviously it's 7 years behind what they've said. They've tried something similar a couple times. The bottom line is they want control. They want to make money off of it. They want the markets to be scared, although the markets right now are having a field day and don't give a rat's ass about what the real economy is doing, it seems. There's other investments, though, that you can play off of on here. So, yeah, that's about it. So I'm going to close this up for now. I've already given my like for that. And again, the links are on my inside the chat. I believe you can see the chat when you replay this. And that's all I got to say on this. I don't want to focus on this too much. I'm going to start another live stream shortly and get to do some fun stuff, and I won't be feeding this to you guys if you don't want to hear it. But I encourage you to look at it. The truth is out there, and there's a lot of other information out there if you look hard enough. And I haven't shared everything with you, but this is the most compelling evidence that I have seen that this is a plandemic, and they're basically probably out to get a vaccine, and who knows what, some type of control. There's a lot of evil out there, and to say this is coincidence is a few things. There's a lot of things on that thing that was quote unquote coincidental. This thing's real. Sorry, the plan is real. I don't think the virus is real though, and It's manufactured, not natural, you name it. Anyways, that's it for now, guys. I'm going to end it. Have a good one, and yeah, you can join me momentarily, and I will have a live stream up, and we'll have some more fun, get away from this sickening crap. Talk to you later.